Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Next Gen Collective as we continue to celebrate Women's History Month by recognizing the incredible achievements of the next generation of professional women. I'm Sue Ladies, and it's my pleasure to introduce you to our special guest today, Victoria Jenn Rodriguez, also known as the Imposter Syndrome Killah. Victoria is a social media media personality, international speaker, and business consultant who has trained over 15,000 leaders and entrepreneurs worldwide. She's the founder of Dare to Leap Academy and head coach of the Women Who Roar Club, empowering professional women and promoting diversity and inclusion. We're honored to have her with us today to share some of her valuable insights on mindset and business success. Victoria, thanks for joining us. How's your Friday going?
It's going amazing. I get to talk to mi gente, my familia, so I am super pumped to be here. Thank you.
We're pumped to have you. Let's start by breaking the ice a little bit. Whenever I run into another Latino or Latina, I like to ask a few quick questions to connect with them on our cultura. Are you ready for a rapid fire round?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, here we go. Maduros or tostones?
Tostones with mojo.
Ooh, yum. Okay, guacamole or salsa?
Guacamole.
If I had to give one up, yeah, I would keep the guacamole.
I love me some avocado.
Okay, next question. Cumbia or reggaeton?
Reggaeton.
Elvis Crespo or Marc Anthony?
Ooh, Marc Anthony. I'm Boricua. I gotta go Marc Anthony all the way.
He's the king of salsa, isn't he, or something like that? Yeah. Okay, now let's dive a little bit into your work. You empower women to transition from corporate to entrepreneurship, and as an entrepreneur yourself, can you share like what inspired you to leave corporate to pursue entrepreneurship to begin with?
Yeah, so my story is a little bit different in terms of, entrepreneurship was never a desire of mine. I didn't come from a family of entrepreneurship. I wasn't really exposed. And so therefore, I didn't really know that the grass was greener on the other side. And so I just was able to go off of, you come to America and the dream is you go to college, you get a successful job, then you get the house, you get the white picket fence, etc. So because of that preconditioning, I followed suit. I said, okay, I'm going to college. I'm going to do my thing, get a corporate gig, make my 6 figures and live my life. And then my last corporate job where I was heading up talent management for the commercial business at Johnson & Johnson, they wanted to relocate me to Tampa. And I know you guys are just meeting me for the first time, but I'm more of a Miami girl. No shade to Tampa, but I'd rather be in Miami.
Yep.
And so, I took my severance, gracefully bowed out and said, okay, thank you. I'll be moving on. And even at that moment, I wasn't thinking about entrepreneurship. I was going on interviews and I was still planning to stay in corporate because corporate and I had a beautiful relationship. I made a lot of money. I met a lot of great people. I was able to impact lives in my community. So we were cool. But I kept going on these interviews and wasn't able to close. And I was like, okay, what is going on here? Because I like to consider myself a closer. So I'm like, So I took it as a sign from the universe to bet on myself and go all in. And 6 years later, we still in the green and we still changing lives and, staying happy.
Right. Nice. So going back to the entrepreneurship, what's your favorite, the one thing that you love most about being an entrepreneur?
The one thing I love about most is I would say that it stretches you beyond limits. Like you will never get the type of development that you get when literally you are dependent on you to secure the big bag, to feed your family, to build legacy. Like that type of responsibility really forces you to grow in ways you never thought possible. So I would say that's the beautiful thing. Even though, while you're in the journey, it's tough. It's an emotional roller coaster. And like I said, you're being stretched. But I truly believe when you are uncomfortable, that's when the magic happens. And that's what I really love about entrepreneurship is that it forces me to create magic.
Magic. I love it. Nice. So you've trained a lot of want to be entrepreneurs or soon to be entrepreneurs. What's the first piece of advice you would give someone that's considering leaving the corporate world and start their own business as you did?
I would encourage them to join the Dare to Leap Academy. Only because, right? So I created the Dare to Leap Academy, which is an online e-learning platform where I teach women specifically how to transition from corporate to entrepreneurship, even if they don't know where to start and they don't want to lose their financial security, right? And we also welcome male allies, by the way. And what I've done is throughout my 6-year journey, I made a lot of mistakes. And I made a lot of money. I lost a lot of money. I had difficult conversations. I had to lead a team. Like, so much of my intellectual property is basically hubbed inside the Dare to Leap Academy so that you don't have to make the same mistakes as I did. And you can actually get to your end goal faster because now you're learning from somebody who has done the research, who has a proven process. So you can literally just copy it and execute against it. So best advice is to pay someone to show you the game or get yourself a mentor that's willing to invest in your growth to show you the game so that you don't waste time and you don't have to reinvent the wheel and you can work against a proven process.
That's a great advice. I'm going to have to look that program myself.
Yeah.
So aside from the Dare to Lead program, what are some exciting things or projects that you have in the works right now?
Yeah, so I have, immediate next thing that's coming up is the end of this month. I'm having a Women's History Month exclusive where my mentor, Kaplan Mulberry, who kind of put me onto game, right? Like I said, get you a mentor, somebody who's going to put you onto game on how to make money as a speaker and how to secure corporate contracts as a speaker. And I'm talking about like 5-6-figure contracts, to talk about your story, to share your expertise. And you guys, again, are just getting to know me, but I love to talk. And God gave me the gift of being able to speak magic through my voice and to encourage people to tap into their badassery and dare to leap, right? And so the end of this month, I have an amazing masterclass coming up with him for people who are looking to become a sought after keynote speaker, but they kind of don't know what their topic is going to be. And they have a fear of public speaking, right? Which 70% of the population has a fear of public speaking. So this class is going to really show you how to speak and get paid to secure the big bag. And so that's super exciting right around the corner. And something else that I'm really excited about that's coming out this fall is I'm partnering with this incredible woman named Cara Elwell, who's the founder of the Champagne Diet. Many of you might have heard of her because she's in these streets, okay? She's doing amazing work. And her and I are collaborating to bring a summit in the fall that's going to focus on all things love and business. So super pumped about that.
That's awesome. You have so many amazing things coming up. How do you manage to stay sane and find time for self-care when you're doing so much?
Yeah, it took me a while to really come to terms with the fact that self-care is not going to do your nails, is not going to do your pedicure, your hair, because if you think about it, that's work. You have to book the appointment, then you got to spend time there, you got to pick your color. Like, it's still a routine that requires you to think and requires work. And so as I've gotten older, my self-care looks more like I want to disappear on an island, completely turn off. Nobody can contact me and really get to know me better, right? Because every year we're growing into new versions of ourselves. We're constantly evolving and we're constantly changing, right? What my passion was 5 years ago is not my passion anymore, right? Because we've evolved, and that's the beautiful thing about life. And so for me, self-care and managing it all really requires me to get quiet and let go of the kind of go attitude and trying to be everything to everyone, and just silence yourself and sit with yourself and even journal, journal about things that scare you, journal about things that trigger you, journal about things that make you happy so that you can continuously become more and more comfortable in your own skin, because that will not only allow you to move more confidently in the world and pursue your dreams, but it will also encourage others around you to do the same.
These are great advice. I'm gonna take notes after this. Do some of those things. Yeah, self-care is definitely hard to come by when you're a professional, and yeah, prioritizing it is important. Speaking of, can you share some like unique interests or hobbies that you do while you're doing all that self-care that brings a smile to your face?
Yes. And shout out to everybody in the comments. We see you.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. Share this video out with people who are interested in entrepreneurship, more of the community, bring them in here. I would say that I recently picked up the hobby of puzzles. Like I'm literally obsessed. And then once I started like realizing I'm into puzzles, I started doing research, and data shows that by you doing puzzles, you become more detail oriented. It helps with your memory. It fights off dementia. So like all of these health benefits to literally working on puzzles. And it's the only thing that I found that allows me to kind of like zone out and not think about work, not think about my boo, not think about anything that's going on in life, like just literally like zone out. And it's just me and this puzzle, and it's a vibe. I love it.
That's so interesting. I don't share that hobby, but that's a really interesting. I love those data that you shared with us. So, in honor of Women's History Month, I have to ask if you had the chance to dine with an influential Latina from history, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
So, I would have to say Lolita Lebron. And for those of you who are not familiar with who she was a Puerto Rican nationalist who stormed the Capitol in like 1954, then was sentenced to like 50 years in prison, spent 25 years of that 50-year sentence in prison. And her whole philosophy was breaking Puerto Rico away as a commonwealth from the US. And I would love to sit down with her because she fought for this years ago and had that foresight. And right now, what's currently going on in Puerto Rico is so much of non-Puerto Ricans are taking advantage of the beauty of the island and really becoming wealthy as a result of using the island, right? And the Puerto Rican people are not. And so I would love to sit down and talk with her and say, hey, you had this foresight back then. What do you think about what's happening now? What can we do as a community to make sure that we are taking our resources and helping revitalize our community versus helping those outside the community bank off of our labor, right? And our resources and our beautiful island. So plus it's so badass for you to have that much confianza to like storm the Capitol way back then. I know this happened recently, but way back then. But for such, to me, such an incredible cause and to be such a controversial women in history, I think is pretty dope and something that we all can learn from and be inspired by. Not that I'm suggesting anybody go shoot up the Capitol, but to be that down for your people and for your country and for your culture and where you come from, that is admirable.
Well, thank you so much. I'll be looking that up and sharing some of those resources on our Discord channel later. Last question, Victoria. How can people find you if they want to reach out or they want to sign up for the Dare to Lead program or any other projects that you have going on? How can we look for more?
Yeah, well, definitely connect with me here on LinkedIn and let me know that, you're connecting with me through this Next Gen interview. I love to meet members of my community. You can also visit victoriajen.com and literally all the information is there. And I actually have, for anyone who is interested in transitioning from corporate to entrepreneurship and you don't kind of like know where to start, or maybe you have an idea, but you don't know how to flesh it out, and you don't want to lose your financial security, on victoriajen.com, as soon as you land on that page, there's a free training there. So completely free resource. So take advantage of it, guys. It's about 15 minutes. And after you watch, you have an opportunity to book a call with me or a member of my team to learn and see if you're a fit for the Dare to Leap Academy. And yeah, if you want to be a speaker, like, let's go. Join the masterclass later this month. And let's bring these dreams to life. Let's secure this big bag and let's get into it, honey, because the world is yours once you decide to put yourself out there and bet on yourself. Literally, that is when the game changes. And that's what I'm here to do, to help you get there.
Here, here, Victoria. Thank you so much for being with us today. It's truly a pleasure chatting with you. You're such a personality. I love it. I love
Oh,
it.
thank you so much.
Before we end this live stream, I'd like to introduce our next guest, Tatiana Rivera. She is a paid leave and time off expert, and she's passionate about widespreading access to comprehensive paid time off and leave programs. She'll share some insights on parental leave and how to prepare for it, whether you're a parent to be or you're planning for the future. This would be a really good conversation to have, especially on Women's History Month. Next Gen, that's all for now. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Victoria, for joining us. Join our Discord channel. I'll put in some information about Lolita Lebron. And, you know, if you have anyone else who you want to share about like the women in history and you feel like they haven't gotten a shout out or anything else, let us know on the Discord channel. Thanks, Victoria.
All right. Adios. Bye, everybody.
Adios.